We're all being recorded.
Okay. Call the highway committee meeting to order. Roll call, all are here except for Chair Rockno. Approval of minutes. Motion's been made to approve. Is there a second? Second. Any questions on minutes? Hearing none, approved as read. Items listed, Chair none. Staff reports. No public comment either.
No public comment. I'll let Brent start it off with our field operations and let you know what's going on.
All right, well, right now, we got a few little brushing projects that we're trying to finish up. We took a few days, a couple days off of that. We had to cover our sand piles by the 15th. They are all covered. Everything is good to go on that. Hopefully, we don't need any more. I think it's warm enough out. I think the ground's warm enough out that we can plow it off and it'll melt on its own. So we have all our piles covered. If something would come about, we could open the pile back up and dig into it. But so that has to be covered by the 15th, and they are covered as of yesterday. Like I said, we do have a couple of brushing jobs yet we got to do. They'll be wrapping them up in the next week. We have started reclaiming our shoulders on the state and the county. So they're in the midst of doing that. They're all doing that today. We have 2 crews doing that. We are doing some shoulder repairs at some outline shops. Some guys are out fixing some shoulders up also. We're patching, obviously with all this rain and the wet snow, and it opened some holes up. We are also getting ready to start the bike trail over here. I don't think we'll start on that next week. Maybe we've started to the trees, and we got it all staked out. Isaac and Dave did last week. We're going to start with our shouldering crew here in the next couple weeks. I know Dan's going to take some sanders off. It's early this year. Dan and I talked yesterday. We're about a month early. I looked at the weather. It doesn't look like, yes, anything can pop up at any time, but it doesn't look like the roads are warm enough that if it does snow, it will melt in a hurry. So we don't have too many, we're a little worried that we're a little early, but I think we'll be fine. We have some work, plenty of work scheduled on the state. We have a lot of DOT work to do, which I got to take care. We have 9 to 10 state guys that are on the state budget, and they will be going out starting a concrete project next week at the 52. And that is, depending on the weather. Looks like we could have some rain next week. Monday looks like a good day, but it should take all week. And then if all goes well there, we may do the other side. And it's, a lot of traffic control, got to close ramps down. People, it's a dangerous job. So, but everything should be set up right. We're using all the signs on the interstate, all our message boards, and everything will be signed accordingly. And hope all goes well with that. That's never fun to be working on the interstate pouring concrete, but we will be out there next week if weather permits. Other than that, day-to-day regular maintenance. I don't believe I missed anything on that, but like I said, we have construction down on Z to do too, but we're not going to do that till we get done with the trail.
Is that gonna be a cement or a blacktop?
Blacktop. So we gotta subcut that. There's some areas, there's a lot of black dirt in there, so we gotta dig that out. We talked to Dustin this morning. We went over and checked out at the sand mine. They have some material over there that'll be really good for that sub base.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So in some areas, we'll have to put some fill in, some sand fill, which has kind of rockier fill, kind of a shale fill. And then rock over top and then the blacktop.
Yeah, basically from the hill all the way through the government center area, there's a lot of black dirt in that area. Approximately, what did they say, about 2-3 feet?
There's some areas that has too many.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have to remove, obviously, those soils and put some sand underneath it. So we're not gonna be fixing the bike trail every year. We just leave it on black dirt, so.
We come from the road originally. They're not through there. They pushed it up there.
Oh, and we're also hauling our FA2 chips again from the Hodge pit over in Stanley to our outline shops for chips in. Any other questions?
Do you ever, like when you're working on the interstate, the cement, do you ever contact the state patrol?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of have them out there so they, at least people can see it, otherwise they don't even slow down sometimes.
Yep, we do.
But if they see a cop there, that might get your attention, hey, you know.
And
Fines.
that works for a while.
Oh,
But they have pulled people over.
okay.
It's crazy. You know, sometimes the semis are only 2 feet away when you're finishing concrete.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's,
I think I'd call in sick that day.
don't tell the guys that, they're listening. But no, we've got really good guys and they're very careful and, you know, you just gotta have your head on a swivel because it is. People are driving, looking at their phones, you know how people are. And that's it, that's just our society, that's how it is, and we've really gotta be aware of our surroundings, that's for sure. But we've got really good guys, Creaser's got everything, our sign guys got everything marked out for all our signs, so everything should be right on. We've communicated with the state and everything should be going. So all should go well.
Okay.
I'm good on my end.
Morning. We got a call last week. They bumped our truck up to take down Universal. It went down last week, which is a good thing. Start getting equipment and stuff on it. Scheduled tomorrow to go down and kind of show them where we want everything located at, make sure everything gets put where it belongs. Al finished the sign truck yesterday, all the little things that were, get done. It was in the back room if you guys want to look at it before you leave. So that's done. That 155 bucket truck has been working real well. You guys have used it quite a bit, so yeah.
That has been a great improvement, no doubt.
Working on summer equipment, mowers and everything else. Just getting things ready. And Brent had mentioned today we're starting to remove sanders and wings just on the county tracks. Of course, the state, we won't take the sanders off the state tracks. And also wings off the creators. So it is early, but the outlook looks good. And, the sun is high right now, so.
And Dan and I talked, it's, we're leaving the plow mounts on the front, so if it does happen to, at least we can plow it off.
And we have other trucks, so it's just kind of getting a little jump on it and Brent can use them for projects, so. Yeah, and other than that, I guess, there isn't much else going on, so just maintenance, get things ready to go.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that, obviously the skid steer that was damaged in that fire, we did get that. The new skid steer to replace that. So that's up and running. I believe we're in the process of trading in,
Yes.
swapping our other skid steers out that we do annually. And as well as our mini backhoe. And then we did get back the number 22 tractor, the John Deere tractor. that had significant repairs done to it. You can kind of explain what was done to it.
Well, they repaired the transmission and the one axle housing and then we put the mower, we had the mower off it, so we put the mower back on it. And sent it out. I think it's been out now probably a couple of weeks.
It has.
And I talked to the operator this morning and he, see how it was going, and he said everything is working fine. And so that's good, because our other one, the old one, at number 20, just went really downhill bad. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. But it's getting old and we try to keep it going as long as we could.
Be honest, we'll find some more money.
But I mean, just give you a perspective, just the repairs on that tractor was $29,000 just for that. And it's,
Wow.
How old was that tractor or that we have it? Did we buy it new?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought it brand new.
the 2015.
15 or 14, I think it is. Yeah. You know, it's still a high price tractor.
Yeah.
So. And what do you do with it otherwise, you know? Yeah.
But not like the, skid steers. You swap them out every year, so they're always under warranty then?
Yes.
Okay.
And we pay an $8 per hour.
Which is cheap.
Absolutely.
Is there any other like equipment you could kind of go on that, like a
We've
3-year?
we've tried looking at loaders, we've looked at other equipment, and it's just, they just do it on the skid steers for that hourly basis.
There's local dealers around here like, man, you keep that as long as you can keep it. That is a heck of a deal.
Yeah, yeah, it is. We did swap one more out today, so we have, we're down to just swap 3 of them. And then they do have an excavator there if we do want to switch that to stuff to swine. And I forgot about that. So, yeah, that's being done too.
Yeah, and another thing regarding the equipment is Dan and I are actually gonna go down to Universal tomorrow. To just go over the new truck, fabricating it, as well as the other trucks that we should have received last year, but we're still getting. And then the trucks that we're receiving this year, looking at exploring slide-in boxes, where they have, they call them V bodies. They're live body, they have like a conveyor in them. So we have 3 trucks currently that have boxes like that are built into the box. Well, we would be looking at a style where you just slide it into an existing box.
So it's like an insert.
Yeah, an insert. So we're looking at that, see what the cost difference is, as well as maybe exploring stainless steel boxes instead of the standard steel and painted box, just for longevity. I mean, we do quite a bit of fabrication repairs on these boxes over time, obviously with salt and sand, grit, lime rock, everything that's in them constantly is.
So with those in the newer style or whatever, the V box.
Yep.
That you were gonna go look at, would that allow you more access to that truck to do other jobs? Like you can pull that out of there and use that more as a.
I would say it's
other duties around here.
the biggest thing is just the user friendly for the driver of that plow truck. So they don't have to lift their boxes up.
Yeah.
So obviously you're not hitting
Because of
power lines and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just slide them out, utilize it as a dump truck when you need it.
Yeah.
And slide it back in. It's pretty simple. A lot of counties are going to that and have gone to that system. I'm not saying all of our trucks would be, but maybe our state trucks that are allocated for our state plowing. But obviously it comes with, you pull them out, you gotta store them somewhere. Now, so yeah, like I said, it's.
Got a dual chain in there, or what? Just a single. Single.
Single for the apron?
Just that wide, huh?
Yeah, and then it drops it into the auger.
Yeah.
Sends it which way you want it, okay, spinner on it.
So the insert is actually tapered to go down in there.
Okay,
All
okay.
all of these. And, and they do have legs on them, so you can actually, back up and put your legs down and raise the box and actually take it out of there without even having to
Pull it
get a
out.
machine.
Hmm.
And unhook the hoses and a couple wires, I mean, less than an hour, you could. So that's, a big plus there, and then you're ready to haul material.
And the report on them is if they're working good, other people that have them.
Some issues with some of the manufacturers. I think the biggest thing is how the sander configuration was done. The way that Universal has done it and some other counties is it's just their standard spreader that we have on all of our trucks now. It's just gravity fed into that, and then a lot of them before had like dual sanders where it would conveyor one way, conveyor the other. They had issues with that in other counties, but we would look at simplifying it. Like I said, what a lot of counties and what we'd be looking at doing is having at least 2 cycles of these trucks. So the same V box for 2 sets of trucks. So hopefully a 20-year lifespan on these, is what we're ultimately shooting for. Like I said, just our guys love them, the 3 that we have. We don't have the V box, we have the actual conveyor in the box itself. Problem with those is there's not a whole lot of resale value with them. So nobody's gonna want a dump truck that's got a conveyor in it. Like I said, so we're looking at exploring different options.
So how would you get if it's just in the truck itself, how would you get the sides to come in? Is the apron like wider then?
You're talking with the V boxes?
No, I thought you said there's some that just put in the regular box itself,
Yeah,
the apron.
They're made that way.
yeah, they're sloped in the box
Okay.
for all the material to come to the conveyor.
Then they put salt brine tanks on each side, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually pretty straight up and down, the whole box is, because your salt brine tanks are, taking up that V part of it.
If you had a big problem with the hoist being up and hitting something, that's happened.
It's just being out on the interstate. It's not something you want to be going on the interstate.
With the hoist up.
Obviously, the utility lines they're everywhere.
No.
A lot of the guys, they memorize them, but you get new employees into a truck that's not their normal plow route, and so it can happen very quickly.
You've been in it for long enough and you're like.
Well, they say on the interstate when you're out there plowing, they're like, there's an older fella, John Wagner, he used to work here. He just said, you just gotta be like a horse. Winders, don't turn around, don't look back, just keep going. And it's one less thing you gotta worry about. It was a good improvement. The guys love them. I mean, anything, one less thing you gotta worry about out there is nice.
And they're way more accurate too on the material that they put down, because of the fact that sander is always completely full with that. You don't have to worry about it running empty and then not putting the material down.
Sure.
And you have to go back and redo it.
Yeah, it's a really good, positive thing. So, but yeah, basically everything is just kind of shrunk down a little bit, is what Dustin's talking about, compared to our interstate trucks. And not having to lift the hoist is a great big plus. One less thing you gotta worry about.
Sure.
They do a good job.
Any questions on that before we go into the engineering project updates? Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And to add to that, you guys should look at that. That truck looks really nice. They did a good job on it.
Side truck?
Yeah. I think it's here in Renton.
It was a little while ago.
Greaser.
It's in the back room.
Showing it off.
I don't think he took it out yet, right?
I don't believe so.
No.
I don't think it's washed up enough for him to start doing that.
But they did a really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I'll have Isaac go into the project updates if you wanna.
Yeah, so project updates, County Road B out here, that project has begun in the last month. We had the pre-con meetings, JT Engineering, Core and the DOT. They started last week on the South project, so south of the interstate. They've started, the traffic signals, so they put up temporary traffic signals at each of the intersections. If they get some poles relocated from Excel, Haas is gonna start working on widening some of the intersections in the next week here. So they're kind of prepping for when we move traffic over back and forth on that project. And next week on the north project, the road will be closed at County Road or at the railroad. So April 15th, 6 a.m. I believe they're gonna put the barricades up. And the detour will be in place this week, routing traffic around on BE to State Highway 40 and then back on US Highway 12. So that'll start next week, and people will have to learn their way around.
Yeah, and originally it wasn't gonna be shut down until May 1st. We actually, I don't want to say anything bad about the railroad, but we had an issue with the railroad once again. That potentially could have had both of these projects come to a screeching halt. They don't work very quickly, let's just say that, to accommodate our needs. So this whole project is like, they just started from day one again. And they were waiting for the DOT to give them the authorization to start work, which they did sometime in, I believe it was in March, early March.
Yeah.
And that's when they apparently were gonna wait until everything was gonna get ordered for the whole project, for their cross arms, their cantilevers, all that stuff, which could take up to 4 months. So they were looking at maybe July, starting this whole project on their end. Well, let's just say I got a little excited at the meeting, but, so with the contractor, Chippewa Concrete has basically requested to push the project up sooner, to shut the project down on April 15th, so they can get basically everything north of the tracks done. And then if worse comes to worse, we're gonna put temporary pavement in over the railroad tracks so we can get bi-directional traffic going. So Haas can start their portion starting June 1st is the ultimate goal. I did get an email last night that the railroad is working diligently to accommodate our needs. They are looking at a June 1st deadline. What they say now, it's not to say it can't change tomorrow. So like I said, at worst comes to worst, we're gonna put temporary pavement in on the railroad tracks and we're going over it. They can do whatever they need to do after the road is bi-directional. We can't sit and wait for them all the time. So that's why we pushed up our detour and road closure a half a month, April 15th now. It is gonna be scheduled to be closed all the way till June 1st is the tentative schedule. So a month and a half, it will be shut down. Like I said, the detour will, like Isaac said, will be 40 to 1229. But I know locals will go wherever they want. So there's ways around it, obviously, but it will be shut down from 650th to Badger, which is just to the right at the railroad tracks. So, yeah.
The 650th, is that the one that runs east and west along?
So 650th is right where the old church is, where Hulbert, just to the south of Ellsworth Creamery. That near
Oh, yeah,
intersection.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we're gonna be tying in, where the new pavement starts
Correct.
that we did
Yep.
last year.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna get everything done from the railroad tracks north. It's their ultimate goal in a month and a half, so.
So if the railroad has already upgraded the, new crossing, they put all brand new crossing in.
They're gonna be redoing it all again.
Oh, I thought we'd just get the cross arms in and then they're good to go.
So they're actually replacing their entire rail. So they're gonna
Oh,
replace the rail, all the, timber underneath it, all the ballast. It's all gonna be a whole new crossing.
because they just like worked on that here not too long ago.
Yeah, that's
Just last fall.
how they work. But yeah, like I said, they did some temporary stuff there. It was nothing permanent by any means.
It looked awfully a lot better than what it was.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I thought it
absolutely.
was, you're done for the project, but
Yeah, so they still got some work, and like I said, they gotta put some cantilever poles in, they gotta put their masts in with all their lighting and cross arms and all that stuff, so. I believe those are pretty large, I think they go down 12 feet. If I'm not mistaken, because they're very large structures, so they got some work there, but their work should probably take a couple weeks from start to finish, but they gotta start.
That's right.
That's the problem.
okay.
So yeah,
Barry with Triple Concrete has laid out a good schedule for them to follow, so hopefully they can follow that and not interfere with what Triple Concrete needs to get that done, so.
Well, does the railroad have their own crew or they kind of, put that out for bids or something? They got their own crew coming in.
they have their own crew that comes in and does all the work.
Oh, okay.
So we'll tentatively push along on that, and hopefully June 1st, we'll start seeing a lot of work out there when it comes to both projects being completed at the same time, so.
You still looking for like early fall to be all done completely? Ribbon cutting and the whole bit?
So the north
You gotta
phase,
come back for that.
No.
north of the interstate is scheduled to be completed by, I believe it's early October.
Okay.
South phase is early November.
Oh,
So it's gonna be a while.
it's a major project.
If you want a ribbon cutting ceremony, we can do that, but I didn't have that plan.
Other projects, County Road. So our project schedule for the summer, I guess we could go that way. First, we'll be starting on the bike trail, like Brent said. That was staked. We staked that last week, so if you guys wanna drive by, there's pink lath, along the highway and by the judicial center, kind of show you where that bike trail path is gonna be. Yeah, Dave will start that when he can, and it's from that snow, it's much softer than it was when we did the clearing and grubbing. It was dry when we did the clearing and grubbing, and it didn't seem like it was gonna be like it seemed like we could get a start on it, but that foot of snow or whatever, that ground is soft, saturated. Just driving a pickup truck across it, you left a couple inch divot, so. So yeah, we'll do a little EBS in some of those areas where it's soft and we have more topsoil. Then after the bike trail project's complete, we're moving down the County Road Z. That project, it's 1.6 miles. From B up to where we left off at 90th Avenue. So it's last stretch into Oak Alley. So they'll be moving down there, probably in June sometime. The design is basically done. There's just one section that we looked at, changing the profile of the road, near the cemetery. There's kind of some dips, so we're trying to improve the profile there for sight distances at that intersection with Y.
So how many more sections do you have to do on County Z? Cause I thought we were down there when took our tour, that was a year or so ago, a couple years ago.
Yeah, we
We're
did
working
it,
on it again.
we did it in 3 phases. This is our last phase.
Okay, then we're all done on County Z.
And over the last month here, we also did pavement designs for our pavement replacement projects. So, County Road M, south of Sand Creek, County Road H near Elk Mound, or north of Elk Mound up to 29, County Road H, south of 85, from Rock Falls down to County T, and, what's the last one?
W, wasn't it?
It's in the 5-year plan.
Oh, jeez. Pretty quick, there won't be any blacktop left there.
You don't have any more polls, Brian, that's the problem.
I know it. It's my last chance.
So, for those designs, just move the traffic counter along to get updated traffic and truck data, for those. The guys pulled soil borings every 1,000 feet or so, so you can see what type of base and pavement section was there and subgrade material, and, so we did pavement designs this year, and it actually was very close to what Dustin was planning to do anyway, so, but it was a good exercise, kind of go through.
Well, that project B out here, is that gonna be blacktop or cement?
Concrete.
Concrete.
The only portion that's gonna be asphalt is the shoulders,
Okay,
as well as from Packard Drive north.
because like when we got some bids, since then the price of asphalt has gone down. Is that their profit or is it reflected? It doesn't cost us as much. Is it material plus time or is it, they gave us an estimate and that's it?
Well, so they bid that project, so whatever their unit price is
Okay.
is set in stone.
So if the price goes down for the material, then that's just a little bit more profitable. Okay.
Correct, on their end.
Yeah, they're not gonna give it back to us.
No, I didn't think so, but it didn't hurt to ask.
No, no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, other engineering projects, the structure's under 20, we're getting close. There's just a couple townships left, that decided late that they wanted us to do the inventory out there for them. And we're starting to get more calls for estimates for the towns for summer maintenance work and paving projects, so. Other than that, do you have anything else on?
No, I don't have anything to add to that.
Are you getting closer to your 40 bridges or don't you have to be certified a certain number you have to inspect with somebody?
Yeah, to be certified bridge inspector, or to be able to be a lead on
Oh,
bridge
okay.
inspection, I need 40. I am certified now, so I can inspect bridges, but I can't be the lead on the inspection. I need 40 bridges, and that won't happen till July. Yeah, July, when they do. Willie Knack comes in and does our bridges in 2 or 3 weeks, so that'll be July.
I had somebody ask me about County Road D. I remember us talking about it, and
By Irvington?
yeah,
Yeah, so that project is still scheduled for next year in 2025.
next year. Yeah, I told him, I said, I know we've been talking about it. I said, I could look through my notes, but no, you don't need to do that. Just curious if it's on the radar. I said, oh yeah, it's definitely past being on the radar. I think it's scheduled and planned and.
Yeah,
stuff,
the 90% completion plans will be done in June here.
Yeah.
All the real estate has been purchased. Just gotta go through the DOT
Oh,
protocols
yeah.
for next year's construction.
Is that, in the fall?
Yeah, November,
Fall,
December.
Yeah.
Yep. Other than that wraps up our project updates. I think questions before we move on to the winter maintenance? So obviously I put together, well, Isaac and myself put together our winter maintenance costs through the years. Just to show you the comparison of a mild winter versus a normal winter. So obviously this winter was a very unique winter, and let's just say we're not done completely yet. Hopefully we are, but you never know what April and May can bring yet. But so in your packet, I just put together a comparison. So I just want to be you to be aware. So these cost comparisons are from. It's not a fiscal year. It's through a October through a March cycle.
Yeah.
So not a January through January. These are October through March numbers. So as you can see, what we have spent just in 2023 and 2024's winter is approximately $435,000, which is considerably less than what our average is. Our average is usually right around 1.2, 1.3. Obviously, we're seeing a pattern here. I mean, we have years where it's less. We have years that are greatly increased, like the previous year. I believe Brent was telling me we went out 19 times this winter for a storm event. And an event could be basically a cleanup. It could be an actual plowing. That was on the county system only. On the state system, I think we were out a little bit more. But these are county numbers. Obviously, the one concern I do have is, yes, we saved a lot of money on our winter maintenance, but we have not generated any revenue on our equipment. So that's a concern I do have. Obviously, everybody's like, well, where are you going to spend all this money that you're saving?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not going to go out there and just start saying, hey, we're going to start paving 10 more miles of roads and all that. I want to look at maybe doing some more maintenance, but obviously we do still need to purchase equipment, and the only way to do that is based on our revenue that we generate on our equipment. So obviously we're going to explore maybe some additional maintenance, like some shoulder maintenance and some basic stuff like that. But other than that, we're not just going to go and blow it on whatever they want. So like I said, it's a huge cost savings, but we don't know what October through December are going to do in 2024 now. So obviously we budgeted for a fiscal year January 1st to January 1st. So we still could be spending $700,000 for all we know in October, November, December. It's a guess.
So that price for like this year, 435,000, does that also include salary?
Yes.
But just when they're working on the roads, so when they're brushing, that's not part of the winter maintenance then?
Correct.
Okay.
So our brushing and tree removal budget was larger than what we budgeted for. Obviously, due to we're not plowing
Yeah.
roads, we got to be doing something. So it wasn't much. It was like maybe 100, 200,000 more than what it on average would be. So like I
Which
said,
is a lot of money, but you think of all the employees that are shifted over, don't take long. for that to add up.
but as you can see, I mean, we saved approximately $1 million just on winter maintenance, but yet we might have spent $200,000 extra on somewhere else. So yeah, all these costs are labor, equipment, and materials. Small tool, admin rate, everything. Okay, included in these costs. So just puts in perspective on how mild of a winter we had, and the dollar amount that goes with it. So, any questions before we go into the financials?
All right, thank you.
Well, I have to be out of here too, so
10 seconds at the most.
I'll get this started.
Oh.
So obviously, this, we've done something different, with our financial reports. What is being presented to the committee, I don't know if all the departments are kind of similar, or if this is just highway exclusively.
No, it's just for highway.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it on a high level. I'm not gonna bore you with a lot of the details. Just to give you a backdrop about this, we've been working on restructuring our fund for some time. We've been working with consultants to make sure that we're in compliance with the Department of with the DOT. And then so what you're looking at is the redo of our fund structure. So this shows you, it's breaking out what is our internal highway service fund versus what is the county road and bridge fund. So the county road bridge fund is where you would see excess of, this is where we would show you how much money is highway making. The up above is how much is it spending that's charging to the county road and bridge fund. So in a sense, highway, we are our own customer as well. So when Dustin was talking about all the cost, what does it cost us to do winter maintenance? Then this bottom section for the county shows you how much revenue did the highway generate. So in the past, we had them all intermingled together, and it was difficult to say, distinguish between those two. But the intent here is to set up two separate funds. One to again show you how is the county doing. So really what you want to pay attention to typically is the bottom. Because that's where your revenue is coming from, to let you know how is highway doing. Because because every time a machine is out on the road, it's a moneymaker, right? Like Dustin said, yes, there were some savings in the winter, but then that didn't generate revenue. So this will tell, the bottom section will tell you how is highway generating the revenue. So as you see, like on the budget up on the top, you see that here our highway internal service fund is at a negative, right? Because that money is going to be made over here on the bottom through county board and bridge fund. So that's how we balance the budget. But the reality is going to show you how much really is highway making. So those are the funds that additional revenue is coming from using the machines and tools. So then that surplus can then be reused to repurchase when it's time to replace. So ultimately, we'll start building up with this excess revenue, the highway fund. So then when it's time to go buy equipment and replace it, we're not out there taking them.
So is this kind of similar to depreciation?
Yes,
Right there.
very, very much so, very similar to that. Because we're charging every
Yep.
single bolt and every single grain of salt and the labor and the machine. Because, labor is a fixed cost. Because like I said, if they're not doing county roads, they're going to be doing some other projects. But equipment, we're charging out that equipment cost. And those are our money makers.
The only thing I'd like to see that make it more clear to me is at times, when it's in parentheses, it's a loss. But yet there's sometimes I see on some reports, it's in parentheses, but it's not necessarily a loss. So
No.
it's hard to look at it.
I agree with you.
No, yeah, and then I try to fix this confusion by putting this footnote that every time you
Okay,
see,
surplus, okay.
right, but, and so, and I don't want to bore you with the details here too, so it's the way our system currently is designed. As we go through the new ERP, I'm hopeful that it will have a reporting module that will be more user friendly. Because right now, how the data comes out of the system, all money is a negative. And all expenses are all showing as positive. So if I were to go and convert them back, I'm always gonna run into the risk, like, okay, I could really mess numbers up and I can swing the other direction. So just for the integrity of the data, I'm leaving it in with a footnote here.
That helps a lot though, just.
Yeah, and maybe I need to put that footnote a little bit bigger, but on both sides. And the reason I typically what you've been used to seeing previous years, but it's not comparable apples to apples, because from 2023, if you look at the overall, what makes more sense. But if I break them out like this, it's gonna provide you more confusion. So, because that's in 2024 is when we went live with the new fund structure.
So your footnote, just making sure, just along the same lines as Gary. It says surplus hash mark and then deficit in parentheses. So then is that telling that, I assume that's telling me that the numbers in parentheses are a deficit.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Just wanted to make sure.
eventually you'll see a projection column here once we have enough data to project. And I broke down there for you are the carry forwards that were done, about that $3 million. And those are for the state project.
Cause you're talking about like looking at the bottom one.
Mhm.
So why, Dustin, did we make money in January? We lost 481,000. What was the big difference between the 3 months?
In the 3 months, you'll see that in January, Dustin has revenue. So a lot of it, there's a couple things here, timing too. This report is driven when it was posted into the system, not when the services were
Oh, okay.
rendered. So here in January, Dustin recorded that he received revenue, and he had a operating expense of 250.
Yep.
But then see, revenue will always have a leg. Like how long does it get? Like month and a half?
We're usually about a month and a half.
Right.
Okay, that's why.
That's right.
That's what I figured.
But, ultimately, as we get a little bit more months, we'll do the projections, so you can take a look at what are we projecting to be in this county road and bridge fund, but also kind of looking at the year to date.
So the wheel tax, that's still in effect, right? Is that added every month then? Or is it just a couple times a year that total is added? The wheel tax.
The wheel tax is up here for the county road. So what you see there, that 58, that's probably January.
It's weird because it's supposed to come monthly, but sometimes they skip a month and it'll come like 3 months later. There's no rhyme or reason.
So
why it comes.
that's why, because you was talking about the lag.
Yes.
It depends on when it's actually in the system.
Yeah, sometimes they'll combine 2 months and then
Oh,
they'll
okay.
have 1 month by itself.
Yeah, that 58, looking at historically, it's probably a month.
That's
1 month
monthly.
more.
Okay.
So that's really, I wanted to be here to kind of explain that significant difference. Now, our consultants that we work with, this is, don't even bother showing this because this is just moving money. So if you like, if you're interested, I will just show you this section is how is the county road and bridge fund performing?
Because sometimes you give us too much information and I think you're just trying to,
Right.
you make it foggy for us.
That's right. But I wanted it to let that be your choice. Recommendation is, this is your focus point. This is what will tell you how revenue-wise the county is performing. And the last page, of course, is the bridge aid, which is on its own. So this will then remain.
And these are only county expenses and revenues, not state.
Mhm.
Clarification on that.
And the detail reports that are following, again, it's just a detail off of these high level buckets. So if you just want to see this, then this will eliminate extra pages.
So
What do
this
you
year,
three want? Cause I don't care. I do care, but I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, rest assured, Dustin and my team are looking at both of these on a monthly basis through a fine.
but all these three phases will show up here then, that bottom one, the roads, bridges.
The county road and bridges, which is give you how is the county performing.
And this year is
These
you
are just the
itemize that.
detailed itemized, that is correct, but it's itemized for this and that.
okay.
So that's where you've got 6 pages. Yep, so ultimately you're just gonna get itemized for this, which would be the county road bridge fund.
It's a lot more information, but it is kind of nice, like down here, the O'Galley Dam, you know, gives you what's going on down there, what it's costing.
It's all up to you, you know. As from finance, I can give you 30-page report, if that's what you want.
I don't think so.
Okay, so direction is,
I'm neutral.
and you don't have to, you know what, you don't, no pressure. You can just let Dustin know for next time what you want. That'll give you some time to kind of think. Sorry, I mixed up the pages.
No, that's fine.
Any other questions? You guys don't have any answer for them?
I guess my recommendation is we just remove this and we just have the
Yeah, that part.
best part.
Yeah.
But how about the itemized stuff? That's a.
Yeah, we can
good
continue
question.
You still do that.
Yeah.
I kind of like the itemized
I'm
part of it,
neutral, I
I
think
guess.
so.
So
There you go.
I'm okay with removing this top part or whatever. So, I mean, that's just me. I'm not speaking for them, but.
Me,
Works for me.
There
Thank
you go.
you. Thank you very much.
Got it. Anything else for, on the commissioner's report? Be on it or? Anybody got any questions on it? Okay, we'll go into number 7, vouchers. Any questions on the vouchers? Comments? And hearing none, is there a motion to approve them?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Second. Motion been made in second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, 7B. Driveway application variance.
So we received an application for a new field entrance on County Road Double B, from 25 to 12, that section of Double B, over by Tractor Central.
Yep.
So this is a field entrance that does not meet our criteria based on spacing from the successive driveways. So that is, we got to have 150 feet of spacing between driveways on either side of the road. This particular field entrance does not meet that 150-foot spacing. I believe it was 80 or 80
Yep.
feet from an existing driveway.
To the same field, or is that like a different owner or what?
There's a map.
So
I'm looking at,
Permit.
on our information, we never got a map on the. when it came out. Oh, I see, there it is. Okay.
So that first driveway is Airtex driveway, correct? The big arrow? Or am I looking at it wrong?
This is just west of,
this
John
is
Deere.
between 25 and 12, that double B.
when you take the shortcut to go to Fleet Farm.
Oh, there,
Probably.
there, yes, I'm sorry.
And I'll
No,
pull
I
up
know. Okay.
an aerial here.
That newer development is just to the west.
Okay,
But the site distance is no problem.
It means it,
Okay, I mean, you know, that's the
but
most,
not, it's 550, so it's,
Yeah, so we require 495 feet of sight distance
Okay.
at 55 miles per hour, and that's based on the DOT stopping sight distance, the minimum sight distance. So this is the property. As you can see where my cursor is here, there's an existing driveway that serves this residence. So the individual that was in that residence passed away, and the owner that owns this field owns this property. What he's looking at trying to do is parcel this residence off and install a driveway, I believe it's about right here, to
For this
access the
field.
field.
okay.
So he currently utilizes this entrance to access his field, but wants to have a separate driveway. So obviously in our standards, we require 150-foot spacing, but it only has 80. There is an entrance down here, as you can see.
Just looking at that.
This entrance here does serve that whole entire field as well, but this has very limited sight distance. They utilize this field to go in, but they do not come out, is what I was told. So having a driveway here would meet our minimum sight distance criteria. It just does not meet our separation from an existing driveway. So if I follow the rules of the law, I would deny this driveway access based on the distance separating these two driveways. So the owner has requested a variance. So that is why I brought it to your attention, to either approve or disapprove of this entrance based on our standards.
so the use,
I did ask about the possibility of having an entrance down here. And eliminating this one, and the landowner said, no, they do not want that. Their farm actually is off of this road. And they want, obviously, ease of use to just come right down this road.
because when I had a similar problem, used to be like a Marty Grenadian.
Marginary.
Yeah, he used to work here. He came out and looked at my access. He said it makes a world of difference to him if it's a residential or ag, because ag you might only use it 3-4 times a year. Whereas like a residential, probably every day you're using it. Do you have
So
anything in there
We do not,
for amount of use?
no. We still require 495 feet of sight distance regardless if it's residential or a field entrance. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, it only takes one time for an accident to occur. Even though you're accessing that less or more.
How many driveways do you have on the system right now that are closer than 150 feet? There's gotta be lots of.
I don't know that exact number, but I would beg to say there's quite a few. And how that got established, I don't know. That was before we probably had a permitting system.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, if there's a situation where it's 140 feet, we've allowed it.
Sure.
But like I said, this one is,
Closer.
So you said that the person that owns the field now owns that resident area?
yeah, they own everything. I don't know if at one point it was rented out or leased. I
So-
don't know how it was, but
Again, I guess my question is why, if they own it, can't they use the existing driveway?
so what they want to do is they want to parcel that residence out.
So they want to take that area and sell it.
Yes. They want to sell this property and then have this driveway with this parcel.
Why couldn't they put a driveway in right Well, it would be,
So there's a hill here. So this is a hill.
I was thinking,
So I don't even know if, I think this one doesn't even have sight distance. It's pretty
I
darn
didn't
close.
measure it, but I would guess not. I guess it would be less than 500.
But obviously, it's grandfathered in. We can't take this driveway away.
okay,
I was just gonna say, well, why can't we just say that one has to go and move it, or just eliminate that one and move it where he wants to go? And
I think it boils down to resale value, having separate driveways and not having a shared use for field and residential.
yeah, you would.
no, I get that.
I think that's the
I
biggest
understand
reason.
that dynamics, but
So Dustin, to me, the site distance is the most important. So what's the big stoppage? Because you got two driveways that close together. I mean, like, why is that so bad?
Well, we try to just limit the number of driveways that
Of
are on
access.
the road
Okay,
as much as possible. So I mean, if we don't have a criteria like that,
Okay.
I mean, it just willy-nilly. I believe the DOT's is 1,000 feet. They require.
I know it's hard on a state road.
It's very
get
difficult
access.
to get access on a state road.
yeah, then. So across the road, where are the driveways? This probably has nothing to do with it, but is there driveways get into that field? Along there, or you don't know that?
I believe, like I said, I think there's one down here,
Okay,
and I don't know if that's the same landowner or not, but obviously they do have access off of this town road if need be to serve that.
okay.
Whereas this, they don't. I mean, based on I guess our recommendation is that we don't see an issue with it, but we just have to have we're going outside of our normal standards and procedures based on that 100-foot, 50-foot spacing.
Now that's spacing for one side of the road or both sides, because you get a house
It's
right
it's
across
only
the
on
road.
that same side of the road, so
Oh, okay.
you could have one directly
As you can
across.
see right there, there's a driveway for a
Yes.
house there just to the west of that 430th Street, whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only on the same side of the road that we require spacing.
What do you guys think?
I don't see a problem. Dustin's in favor of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Especially
mean,
when
the biggest thing is it's the sight distance, and it does
Yep.
meet our sight distance.
We have to make a motion.
Yeah, we do.
I'll make a motion that we, make a motion that we allow driveway access building as requested by the applicant on county, or on highway BB.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any other discussion? In hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, no resolutions. On 8, and next meeting will be May 8th, 2020. There's nothing else. Got something else, Dustin?
I just want to put a plug in for next week. Obviously, National Work Zone Awareness Week is next week. I believe Krista is going to be putting a video together, kind of just publicizing the work zone awareness. So that book, and I believe the county website, and like I said, we're promoting that just for the safety of our own employees as well as all employees that are working on highway infrastructure.
So as I was walking in, the picture, that safety, that's all Dunn County
That was all Dunn
employees?
County employees.
Because I don't know, that many of them, but it looked like it was.
Yep,
That's a nice,
Yeah, that's very nice.
they're good models.
I don't know if I can go that far.
They dressed up real nice that day. But that's all I have.
All right. If there is anything else, we're adjourned.
Well, Brian, I just want to say that short time I got the service